So we're going to talk about division of decimals today. First, we're going to look at it with two-digit divisors because this was a little bit more challenging for you guys. Turn your paper sideways, please. So when I do this, let's do 6 8/100 divided by 16. We don't know our 16 facts. So when we have a two-digit divisor that's unfamiliar, what do we do to figure out how many to divide by, Nora? You do guesstimates. Okay, so find some place on your page and put your guesstimates there. You're going to have guesstimates that are wrong, but can you use those guesstimates for other parts of the problem often? Yeah, they kind of help you lead the way. So 16 is really close to what? 15. It's closer to 15. If you double 15, how much is it?
30.
If you double 30, how much is it? So what do you want to do for our first guesstimate? Because I know I can't do 16 into 6. I might as well just put a 0 and a decimal there. It's got to go there. So if I can double 16 and get 30 and double 30 and get 60, what should my first guesstimate be? 16 times what, Sydney? You want to do 3 or 4? We could do 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. You want to try 16 times 4 because that's not very close. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 plus 2 is 6. Uh-oh. It went over just by a little bit. So now I'm going to save this for later because I might need it. And I'm going to put my 3 up here, my 48 here. And I'm going to do 60 minus 48, which is 12. And I'm going to bring down the 8. Well, if I know 16 times 4 is 64, is that a clue on what I should do? Yeah, if I double 64, what do I have? 128. So I'm going to have to double the 4. 16 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. So now I've got an 8 here and it divides evenly. How are you feeling with the two-digit divisors? Does it take longer? Yeah, but we practice this a whole lot. So now I'm going to give you one. Let me make sure I've got... Let's do this one. Let's do 22 into I just threw down some numbers, so if it goes on and on and on, what place value spot should I stop at? If my don't go past the thousands for 5th grade stuff. Usually that means on a 5th grade problem that you've got a problem. Okay, so for just this purpose, we're going to divide, and if it keeps going on and on, we'll just stop and round. Yes?
When my mom first taught me this, I one time, she gave me one of those problems that goes for forever. I didn't know you would have to stop. I just kept going. I was like, Why does it keep going for forever?
I know. The numbers that go on forever, do you know what they're called?
I forgot, but it was like,
Brooks,
irrational numbers.
Irrational numbers. So pi
That's irrational.
Is the most famous one. Any number that has a decimal that just keeps going on and on into infinity is called an irrational number, and you'll do those more in your middle school classes.
Is 8 squared irrational?
All right, let's keep going. I'm going to make a new cloud for my guesstimates because 22s are not on my facts. I know. I could figure it out pretty fast because 2s are easy to multiply by. So can 22 go into 1? No, I'm not going to put anything or put a 0 over it, okay? 22 into 13. Nope. 22 into 132. If you owe me $132, how many 20s do you need, Tim? Six. So what do you want your first guesstimate to be? Let's do 22 times 6. If you pretend it's money, you can usually figure it out pretty fast. Well, what do you know? That's just a beautiful coincidence. Uh-oh. Please don't do that. So, 6. Now I bring down the 3. Can I do 3 divided by 22 here?
No.
What do I have to put on the top?
A 0.
A 0, because I can't do it. And I'm going to go ahead and add the decimal. Remember, our decimal just shoots straight up to the roof. Now, because we don't use remainders anymore, those are for 4th graders, I'm going to add a 0 and put a 30 here. I can make zeros here, trailing zeros out to the edge of the paper. And in the case of those irrational numbers that go on and on and on, sometimes they'll do that, but we don't want to do that. We've got better things to do. So 22 will go into 30 how many times? 1 times 22, easy peasy. And now I have an 80. Well, if you owe me $80, how many 20s do you need? How many 20s, Garrison? If you owe me $80, how many 20s is that? 20, 40. Mia? 4. But this is 22, so do I want to do 22 times 4 right now?
No.
No, because it's going to take me over the edge of the cliff. So let's do 22 times 3. Oops. I said 3. I wrote 3. 22 times 3 is 66. I'm going to have to go with that, and I'm going to stop because I just happened to pull out a number that just is going to go on and on and on. But do you see what I'm doing to keep bringing down the zeros? Let's do one more. Let's do 9 into 36 and 4/10. Well, 9 can't go into 3, so I'm not going to put anything over the 3. Do you guys see why I was being picky about that before? In the previous unit? If you put this number here, what's going to happen with your decimal? It's going to be in the wrong spot. So 9 into 36, how many times? 4. 4 times 9 is 36. I subtract. Bring down the 4. 4 divided by 9, no can do. So what do I put at the top? 0. And now I'm going to go ahead and put one of my little trailing zeros here. Sometimes you have to make the house a little longer. Just draw your line out. Well, 9 into 40, how many times? 4. Look at this, what this is doing. 40 minus 36 is 4. I could add zeros and keep doing this until the end of my life, and I would make 4s forever and ever and ever. This is called a repeating decimal. When this happens, just draw a line over it. It means your 4s go on and on and on and on and on. Does that make sense, guys?